Automation may just be your secret weapon to creating amazing pro-sounding productions and mixes inside of your DAW. But what exactly is automation and how do you use it inside of Logic Pro? Hey, I'm Reagan Ram with Orpheus Audio Academy. Automation is basically just setting up robots to basically change sliders, knobs, parameters, anything you want automatically, so you're not having to do that on the fly, and it's baked in so that when you bounce your track, you have all these different automations going on. Things are changing over time. And this is how you take kind of a boring static production and turn it into a really interesting moving track where things aren't just staying the same. Like a synth pad that's really small, or a synth pluck that's really like small and tiny, and have it really bloom and get really big and exciting. You can have a reverb tail that is really small, but then in the gaps between the vocals, or when the instrument's not playing, it swells and you get this big splash of reverb. Same thing with delay. Basically an infinite number of different things you can automate. So how do you access automation in Logic Pro? You just hit the A key on your keyboard. Boom, there's our automation. And so you can see in this track, I already have some automation going on. And so for example, down here on these drums here, I've got this plugin I'm automating. So you can automate any of these plugins. You can automate any of the parameters on here. So here at the top here is volume. By default, that's kind of what the default thing is that you're automating. You can automate any of these MIDI controls, and you can automate any of your plugins and any of the parameters in your plugin. So I've got this finisher boost plugin here on the drums. You can just go to this box here and choose what you want to automate. I like to have lanes here. I hit the arrow drop down so you can easily have multiple things you're automating on one place. Just click the plus button, and now I got these different automation lanes. So for these drums, I'm just going to be using boost, right? So you can automate like panning, anything else. So you can just have infinite really automations if you want. So I got the finisher boost automation here. And right, we can just click in here to draw nodes, and we can move them up and down, whatever, and it creates the automations that we want. So right now, right, it's doing nothing at 0, and then boom, it turns up as it goes. And some different tools we can use. You can use this marquee tool. This is really handy if you wanted to like select here, and then you can just drag this up. Instead of having to click 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4 to create all these nodes, you can just use that marquee tool, and it makes it really simple. Another cool thing is the automation curve tool. So that's how I got this, because by default it's just going to be straight linear, but we can use this curve tool to have it be more exponential. So it grows slowly, and then it grows much faster towards the end here to kind of help build the excitement of that transition there. And so now we got the drums, and you can hear what they sound like without the plugin in, and then with them in. So right now there's nothing going on. You can see as it hits the automation, this knob will turn up. No hands. That's pretty cool. I might want to hear it a little bit more earlier. So I might make that less of a dramatic curve. Cool. Then you got different modes here. So you've got read right now. So that means no automations being written, being created. It's just playing the automation that you already have here. And then we have touch. And so what this means is if I wanted to draw in more automation, it will do so, but then snap back to the default setting where it's at. So right now it's at 0, so I could play the drums. And since this is on touch, if I move this, it's going to see what I do. But then it goes right back to 0. So that was pretty crazy. So I can see all these automation lanes in here. And I can even do this on my MIDI keyboard controller here if I wanted to. Some plugins do. So let's see, if I right click on this, I can do MIDI learn, and I can just grab like a knob on my keyboard here. Can you see that? All right, and then you can see the filter is now moving, filter cutoff, right? And then, right, again, if I wanted to do touch, I can change that. So now we'll solo just this little pluck. So when we do it that way, we create this MIDI automation down here. So rather than having a filter cutoff here in the region, we got it on here on the MIDI. So you can see the MIDI right here. All right, so it's here, it's channel 21 here. So if I don't want any of that, I can then come in here and delete it. So anyways, that's touch. You can make changes and then it drops back down to what you had it at originally. Then you have latch, which is similar to touch, only it will stay at the parameter that you have set to it. So, right, again, using the filter cutoff here. See, now it's staying up there. We're not hearing it for some reason, but you can see that's where it is. And then there's write, which will like just write over everything you did. So I don't really use that very often. Most of the time I'm using touch. And then when you're done, you click read. That's very important. So you're not going to write over all the automation you just did. So then what are some big things to automate? Well, a big one is the filter cutoff on your synths. Do this all the time. Here's a macro that's kind of doing that. And so I like to have my synths be a little darker. So the higher frequencies are cut off. That's what the filter cutoff is doing during like the verses, and they open up during like the choruses. So here's like the verse, intro, it's starting small and it's growing. And then the verse. Opening up. And I'm also automating this one knob pumper for the chords. So just flat, straight chords. And at the end they're starting to pump. So it makes it a little bit more groovy. And then it drops out for the verse. Now another thing you could do is like on your mix bus, you could even like make the choruses like half a dB louder to really help them stick out. By the way, if you need help making your tracks and your productions sound professional, then be sure to grab my free mixing checklist in the description below. Not only will this give you handy cheat sheets on how to EQ and compress all your tracks, but it also gives you a step-by-step workflow that you can follow to finish more songs and have them sound the best quality possible and stack up against your favorite artists. So this is completely free. You can grab it in the description below. So those are just a few of like the major parameters that you can automate, but there's so many more things you can automate. If you want to see a list of a bunch of different cool ideas to really take your tracks from sounding amateur to professional using automation, then click my video on the screen right now, and that will show you a bunch of different automation recipes you can use in your productions.